The first person I called when I got the job was my mother. And she said, "Oh my God, Patty, you're finally going to be in a movie everybody can see." Because I've played some unsavory characters here and there.
Your income, it is half of what the men are making.
You think they should get away with how they treated me?
Usually I start off by asking, how did this come about? But in this case, the question is, how long ago did this come about?
Yes, that's a good question. So I first saw Lilly Ledbetter on television watching the 2008 Democratic Convention. And I'm embarrassed to say at this point in my life that I did not know who she was at that moment. But I had an epiphany. I saw this Alabama grandma on TV, and, a force came through me. And I said to my husband, "This is a movie. This is a Norma Ray. This is an Erin Brockovich. This is a movie." And so I reached out to Lilly the very next day. And now it's about 17 years later.
What were the hurdles, and why do you feel like you had those hurdles in the first place?
A movie about a middle-aged woman, a political film, a movie about gender equity. There were a lot of reasons why. But for me, it was always a story about a character, this incredible, ordinary woman who did this extraordinary thing. And I thought that, if this woman can do it, we all can do it. We all can be courageous. We can all stand up to justice. And I also wanted to show this beautiful marriage and the personal cost of what it is to put a target on your back and be an activist. So, the story about gender equity and fair pay was a great vehicle for me to tell a story about an amazing character, and who better than Patricia Clarkson to embody that character.
But that's the beauty of Lilly, is she is the extraordinary in the ordinary. This remarkable human being who rose to the occasion, and really through strife, tremendous as you've seen. And it's remarkable how many people, and especially women and young women, know who she is. And as we traveled across this great country, well, it's a little bit less great right now, but as we travel across, but this is why we need this film more than ever. We need to be reminded that there are great, great, great Americans who fight like hell, and they give up everything for this country, for the betterment of people. And Lilly is the very, very embodiment of that. And was the privilege of my lifetime to play this great woman. Privilege. The first person I called when I got the job was my mother. And she cried. I was in London filming, and she started crying. And she said, "Oh my God, Patty, you're finally going to be in a movie everybody can see." Because I've played some unsavory characters here and there.
I would love to talk about, because I know it was independently financed, that means you didn't have a whole lot of shooting time. So how many shooting days did you have?
21.
21 shooting days. Yowza. All right. So for you, the question is, what was that like to just work by the seat of your pants like that? Which I'm sure you've done with all the TV work you've done, and you work very fast.
I've done so many independent films. But this was brutal in that, because I had to age through decades, and I was often many different ages in one day. And about a month into the shooting, I'm shattered and I'm exhausted. And it's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already in full hair and makeup. And I walk onto the set, and I'm literally walking like this. And I'm like, Rachel, how old am I in this goddamn scene? How old am I? And she's like, Patty, you're 40.
But this is because of that, this is really different. I mean, you're playing a real life character, and the question is, when playing a real life character like Lilly Ledbetter, do you meet her or do you not meet her? Which did you do?
I chose not to, because I had her on such a pedestal. And you cannot play someone, I cannot play someone from on high. I had to put her feet on the ground, and I didn't want to play or portray. I wanted to just be and show a woman and all of her, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I imprint very easily, and I needed to needed to have breath, and we decided we'll meet at the end. And she was cool about this. Very cool about it. She was a rock star. Yeah.
But you work with her a lot. What was your collaboration like with her throughout the process? You know, going back to, you know, whatever, 17 years or however long.
Yeah.
What was that collaboration like over those years?
Lilly was a remarkable woman. She was whip smart. And had been underestimated her whole life, and finally had come into her power, and she was feeling it. And she was a very generous, hearted person and very kind, but she didn't show emotion a lot. Like in the film, when Charles says John wants you to smile more, that's true, that's real. She just didn't. She wasn't emotive, but she was really actually very, very generous. And we got to know each other incredibly well. And it's so sad to us that she died 2 days after our world premiere. You saw the film at the Hamptons, yeah.
So Lilly had passed away pretty soon after last September, after the Hamptons Festival. But did she get to see like an early cut?
Yeah, she saw this cut. She saw what you saw tonight.
everything.
She saw.
Yeah.
She saw this version. She loved it. She wanted a movie about her story. She really understood her legacy was relevant and wants younger generations to know about her story.
So in terms of like the impact of the film, was there a reaction you got, whether it was in, you know, last year at the Hamptons, or something that you read, something that somebody wrote about you, about the film, that struck you that, yeah, this person got it?
People said such beautiful things to me, literally across the country, wherever we took this, and it was quite raucous at times. Sometimes when we would do a screening, and that it was such a tribute to Lilly. I mean, people were cheering on this great woman, and I'm struck that the impact that now finally people. She is being absorbed into the zeitgeist, and I'm so thankful for that.
I've worked in television for 30 years. I've directed more than 80 episodes of television. This is my first feature. So I've worked with editors, fantastic television editors. You know, I get my 4 directors' days from DGA, and I go home the next time I see it, it's on television. This was my movie, you know. So we're in the editing room, as you all know, for months and months and months and months. And, you know, it gets to a point where you just don't know if it's working. You don't know what you have. You think it's good. You're not sure. And then we went to the Hamptons, and that opening theater has, 500 seats in it? And the producers were going, don't you want to go out to dinner? I go, no, I want to sit in the audience. People were laughing. People were crying. People were cheering. People were jeering. And then we had this standing ovation. Patty comes in from the back. She's gone out to dinner with the producers, and she's hearing this. She goes, they like it. And we sort of conjured our mothers at that moment. We were like bawling, and it went out into it was just a beautiful moment. I think it's great when you have a big audience watching the movie together.
I was watching and thinking, this is the Norma Ray of the 21st century. So thank you so much for an amazing conversation. Thank you all
Thank you
for
so
Thank
being
you,
here.
everyone,
Spread
for
the word
coming.
about Lilly.